Cindy and I are about to start our second full day here in the Newport area. I've already had breakfast down at our motel. Now I'm down at Nye Beach, and I'm going to look for a coffee shop to have a quick second cup of coffee. And then Cindy and I are going to head to Yaquina Head Natural Area, look at tide pools, take a look at the lighthouse there. Okay, I think I'll try the Blue Pig Bakery, cinnamon rolls, breads, and cookies, and coffee as well. The bakery had a good selection of yummy looking pastries. But since I already had eaten breakfast, I settled for a cookie and a coffee. Then Cindy and I are off to the Yaquina Head Outstanding Natural Area. We have a National Parks and Federal Recreation Senior Pass, so we entered for free. You can also pay $7 for a 3-day pass. Keep in mind that trails and restrooms are only open from 8 to 4:30, and that the visitor center closes at 4 o'clock. The first thing you're going to want to do when you get to the Yaquina Head Natural Area is stop off at the Interpretive Center. There you can find out information that will help guide the rest of your visit. Stop by the information desk to ask questions about programs and schedules, especially if you want to know when the lighthouse might be open for tours inside. The Interpretive Center offers exhibits and information about the wildlife that calls Yaquina Head home. You'll also find information about the human history of the area and the history of the lighthouse and how it was built. And the people who manned it and lived there. One of my favorite exhibits is the life-size representation of the 9-foot light that sits atop the lighthouse. After you visit the Interpretive Center, you'll take a short drive to get up to where the lighthouse is. As the lighthouse comes in view, I don't think anybody can help but be impressed. Okay, Yaquina Head Lighthouse, and then in the rocks below are the tide pools. To reach the tide pool area, you do have to go down some stairs. The beach here is called Cobble Beach for good reason. These stones that you have to navigate to get across are a little bit on the treacherous side. So watch your step. Once you get down to the solid rock area, you'll notice that everything's covered with plant life or animal life. And the rule is walk on the bare spots as much as possible. Don't damage anything that's living out here. For example, this rock right here, step on the bare spot, not the part that's covered with algae and other plant material.
Kelp is especially slippery to walk on, and if you do step on it, you'll damage not only the kelp, but any animals seeking a wet shelter under the kelp until the tide comes in.
As you pay close attention to the tide pool area, you'll notice that there are different color striations the higher up you go, above the tide pools and on the rocks that form above it. And that's because there are some animals and wildlife, plants, that need to be underwater all the time. There are some that can be above water in the air a little bit of the day, but not too much. And as you get higher, the tolerance for not being in the water increases, and the types of plants and animals that thrive in those areas changes. And so you'll see different striations as you go from underwater to an area that is above water part of the day to areas that only receive splashes from waves, called the splash zone. The rocks at this time above water are covered with mussels, which are themselves covered with barnacles.
The low tide exposes sea stars, anemones all closed up, and lots of purple sea urchins. Seals can be seen basking in the rocks nearby. Offshore rocks provide an ideal place away from land predators for seabirds to rest, nest, and care for their hatchlings. Rangers put these yellow signs out to tell visitors to keep their distance.
As low tide approaches, the population of humans inhabiting the area also increases. Now that we're done exploring the tide pool area, it's time for us to head upstairs and visit the lighthouse. First, we'll have to climb the stairs. This is me getting my physical therapy for my knees. There are occasional tours inside the lighthouse. We're here on a Friday afternoon in April, and there are no tours running today. In fact, the next one will be on Sunday. The Yaquina Lighthouse was built in the early 1870s and required 3 lighthouse keepers to keep it functioning. They had to haul oil up to provide fuel for its lamp. Before this and other lighthouses were built along the Oregon coast, ships sailing offshore had to cease operations at night. After the lighthouses were built, they could sail 24 hours a day, guided at night by the lighthouses that lined the coast, including this one. Okay, we're in mid-afternoon right now. We're going to wrap up our time here at Yaquina Head Natural Area and head back into town and grab something to eat. And then we're going to do the rest of the day some typical kitschy tourist stuff. So stick around. For lunch, Cindy and I have decided to stop at the Newport Cafe. We're going to have a bigger dinner later on, but we just need something to tide us over for our afternoon activities and for the rest of the day until we get a chance to have a nicer dinner. But this should be good too. So it's middle of the afternoon, late in the day. We're having lunch, and what are we having for lunch? We're having breakfast. Cindy and I both ordered a senior breakfast, and at the Newport Cafe they serve breakfast all day long, and they have a great menu. This breakfast only costs $9, so it's a great deal. It'll tide us over. Looks like a good place to eat. I recommend it. Okay, earlier I promised you kitschy touristy stuff, and there's nothing much more kitschy touristy than Ripley's Believe It or Not Museum and Louis Tousaud's Wax Museum, and they're both right here. So Cindy and I are going to do both of these and get it out of our system. We'll go in and check it out.
Let's have fun. Feel the sun. Smile together. Everyone
Say hello to Robert Ripley. Are you talking to me?
I'm stuck here on this wall, and it's full of the most beautiful people you ever seen. Now, my head may be shrunken, but it is full of stars.
I'm sorry. Gotta go. See you later. Bye. Zoltar speaks, and it only costs you $1 to get him to talk to you. Believe it or not. This will show you the length I'll go to bring you a quality video from anywhere you can imagine. Okay, so this wall is supposed to be sort of a self-sculpture. You stand on the other side, press yourself against it, and see what happens. Let's try it out. So my glasses got stuck in it. Let's see what the results are.
It actually you could see your glasses.
Oh yeah. I don't think my cheeks are that fat though. It's
Probably exaggerates a little.
They have a display dedicated to Mills End Park, a pretty well-known location in Portland, Oregon. This is one buttoned-up individual. Are you dizzy yet? Are you dizzy now? How about now? Okay, we have just now entered Louis Tousaud's Wax Museum. We'll see if we meet anybody we recognize or know. Cindy, I'm not sure about the company you keep.
They're great. Market out.
And is this Marilyn Monroe? I guess so. Now this guy does bear a likeness to Johnny Depp. Okay, in this room we're going to see a wax figure of the president. Let me see which president they're representing. Wow, she's so lifelike. I'm not sure if this is the Leonard Nimoy Spock or not. You go through here, you feel like you're moving.
I'm normally the type of person that turns his nose up at places like this when I'm on vacation, but I have to admit, even confess, that I really actually enjoyed myself at both Ripley's and at the Wax Museum.
And as all good museums must, they must end in the gift shop.
Did you guys have a good time?
Okay, this is extremely relaxing. I could sit here all day like this, couldn't you?
I think this octopus is going to gobble us up.
Okay, well, we better not sit here too long then.
Well, if you were wondering how we were going to end our second full day at Newport, you don't need to wonder anymore. It should be obvious by now that sunsets are always a special part of being at the Oregon coast, and today is no exception. So, thank you for watching this video. If you haven't seen the one that I posted previously about our first day, go look at that now. Keep on having adventures, and goodbye for now.